Pardon me, Mr. Jordan. Could I have your John Hancock?
What's going on here?
Welcome back to Director's Choice. Space Jam is one of the most popular sports movies of all time. In the years after its release, it has gained something of a cult following among fans all over the world. It combines a love of basketball with the love of one of the world's most beloved cartoons, Looney Tunes. It is a comedic mingling of sports and the Looney Tunes world to create a comedic world in which anything can happen.
Ready?
Yeah!
Done. Yeah.
You kick it in here. You go to the hole and dominate. We on defense.
25 years later, people are still very much in love with Space Jam, and even the new generation, who wasn't born when the movie premiered. Are you an avid fan of Space Jam? Do you think you know everything there is to know about the movie? Well, we bet not. Here are some facts that you didn't know about Space Jam. And just a teaser, the last one will make you scream for joy. Space Jam pulled in a total of $230 million when it was released. While this may not seem like a lot of money in 2021, keep in mind that the movie was released in 1996, and $230 million back then was worth more than it is now.
Oh my god!
Not that we're saying that it's not a lot of money. Even in 2021, $230 million is not the kind of money to sneeze at. While the movie wasn't positively rated by critics, it was a box office success, and its $230 million earnings was enough to clinch the title of the 12th highest grossing sports movie ever and the highest earning basketball movie of all time. You read that right. Even after all these years, no basketball movie has been able to break this record. That's pretty impressive if you ask us. Lola Bunny, the pretty love interest of Bugs Bunny. While she's not as famous as her on-screen love interest, Lola Bunny does have a pretty sizable fan following of her own. Well, it might interest you to know that she made her debut in Space Jam. From the moment that she sashayed onto the screen with her blonde hair and impressive basketball skills, she captured not only Bugs' heart, but ours as well. She went on to make appearances in the Looney Tunes show, where she was voiced by actress Kristen Wiig. Michael Jordan is regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, if not the greatest basketball player of all time. Gaining such a reputation doesn't come easy because nobody is going to hand it to you on a silver platter. You have to work hard for it, which is exactly what Michael Jordan did. That's how he managed to stay at the top and dominate the game for so long. Before filming Space Jam, he had infamously retired from basketball to the dismay and heartbreak of fans all over the world. However, in 1995, he famously made his return to the NBA, making fans overjoyed. However, his return to the NBA coincided with the filming of Space Jam, which put him in a sticky spot, pardon the pun. He found a way around this by getting Warner Brothers to build him a basketball court on set. This way, he could shoot the movie and train without having to worry so much about the logistics of things. By having this in his contract, he could shoot hoops and blow off steam after long days of shooting while staying in shape. Seems like a good plan all around.
Are you sure?
Yes, definitely sure. Definitely.
Losers!
Sorry.
Choke artists!
Sorry again.
Wait till I get you back on Moron Mountain.
Have you ever had the most awesome idea come to you at a weird and random moment? Sometimes our brightest ideas don't come when we're brainstorming or thinking hard. Instead, those elusive ideas come to us at moments when we aren't even trying to think hard. Well, this was the case of Space Jam. You see, Space Jam wasn't exactly meant to be. Nobody actually sat down and planned to make a movie about a basketball legend playing ball with some cartoon characters and villains.
Whoa! I don't play defense.
The storyline was gotten from a Nike ad that featured Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny, where they had a one-on-one face-off for a Hair Jordan Nike commercial.
Air Jordan and Air Jordan.
What'd you expect? My friend.
The ad turned out to be so popular that Falk felt it would be a great idea to make a movie out of it, so he pitched the idea to Warner Brothers, who was trying to find a way to relaunch the Looney Tunes franchise, and they saw this as an excellent opportunity to do so. While there were some initial concerns as to whether the commercial, which was significantly shorter than a full-length movie, would perform well as a film, we guess it is now safe to assume that those concerns have been put to rest. Just as a recap, in case you have somehow forgotten who the Monstars are, we won't judge you. Don't worry. It's been a long time since Space Jam was released. The Monstars are the transformed versions of the Nerdlucks, who were sent to Earth by the main villain of the movie, Mr. Swackhammer, to capture the Looney Tunes so he could keep them as attractions in his failing amusement park. Upon getting to Earth, the Nerdlucks steal the basketball skills of some top NBA players and are transformed into a team of highly skilled basketball players called Monstars. Even with their skills, they still cheat and play roughly, which doesn't do anything to endear them to the viewers. Do you remember the Monstars more clearly now? If you do, then it might interest you to know that they all have individual names. In the movie, they aren't called by any individual names, but are rather collectively referred to as the Monstars. Talk about erasing their individuality. While you might assume that they don't have individual names, you wouldn't be all the way correct. You see, while animating them, the animators had to give them names to make it easier for them to remember. The orange one is called Pound, the green one is called Bang, the red one is Not, the purple one is Bupkus, and the blue one is Blanco. We have to ask, what sort of a name is Bupkus? It's definitely on the list of weirdest names we've ever heard. While Space Jam is considered to be a financial success, critically, it was the opposite. Every single critic hated it. They all gave it harsh and negative views, except for the critic Roger Ebert, who absolutely loved it. But perhaps the greatest critic of the movie is none other than Chuck Jones, which is odd, considering that he is one of the most important people in the Looney Tunes world. He basically birthed Bugs Bunny and most of the characters in Looney Tunes, so why on earth would he despise a movie which gave his work the rebirth that was so badly needed at the time? Well, he had a couple of reasons. For one thing, he hates the way that the characters were portrayed in the movie, saying that they were too different from the original Looney Tunes characters. He also hated the premise of the movie, claiming that Bugs Bunny would never have to ask for the help of Michael Jordan, and that Bugs would have simply conquered the Monstars in 7.5 minutes, like in the original Looney Tunes cartoon, instead of the entire movie it took in Space Jam. Additionally, he dismissed the character of Lola Bunny as lacking in substance. In all, he found the movie to be terrible. Do you agree with Jones's appraisal of the movie, or do you think there's more to it than meets the eye? Let us know in the comments.
Don't ever call me doll.
The Space Jam original soundtrack was an instant success. It sold more than 6 million copies and it reached a peak of number 2 on the Billboard 200 album chart and is now certified 6 times platinum. Keep in mind that this was the era of CDs and before the era of digital downloads and music streaming, so this is massive. The CD contained captivating tracks from the biggest singers and artists of the 90s. The biggest track on the album by a mile was R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly, which made it into the top 5. Even people who somehow haven't seen Space Jam have definitely heard I Believe I Can Fly at some point in their lives, even if they didn't know it is an original soundtrack from Space Jam. It is one of those songs that you can bet everyone has heard. It is just that popular. One of the biggest rumors surrounding Space Jam is that there is a line in the movie that Michael Jordan's agents insisted on adding to the script when they reviewed it. We're not sure exactly how much power his agents had over the script for them to make an edit to the script, but it must have been a significant amount of power. In the movie scene, Stanley Podolak, who is Jordan's publicist, walks into Jordan's hotel room and says, "Come on, Michael, it's game time. Grab your Hanes, lace up your Nikes, take your Wheaties and your Gatorade, and we'll grab a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark." This has to be one of the cleverest advertising methods that we have ever seen in a movie. In a way that they managed to make it look natural, they subtly gave shoutouts to all the companies that Jordan had major endorsement deals with. Did you know this was a shoutout to these major companies? Let us know in the comments. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. You might want to sit down before you hear this. Oh, and try not to scream too loud, okay? Despite the harsh critical reviews that Space Jam got, it has still managed to remain a fan favorite. So that means that the producers did something right, doesn't it? Well, you'll be psyched to learn that they're doing another thing right and are finally giving us a sequel. Rumors of a sequel continue to circulate, coming to a peak in 2015, when basketball superstar LeBron James teased fans with the possibility of a sequel when he announced plans to work with Warner Bros., which owns the rights to the first Space Jam. A release date for the sequel titled Space Jam: A New Legacy has been set for July 16, 2021. We only have a few months to go. Are you as excited as we are? Let us know in the comments. Space Jam has cemented its place in our hearts as one of the greatest sports movies of all time, and we cannot wait for the sequel. Fingers crossed that it's just as good as the first one, or even better. There you have it, the things that you didn't know about Space Jam. Which facts were you surprised to learn? Let us know. Take a look at this recent clip by Director's Choice, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.